All right. Hi, this is Gamer John.
And this is Retro Zach.
And we just finished playing the Resident Evil 8 demo that dropped on April 17th. And we just wanted to talk about it. We just uploaded the full, it was approximately about 30 minutes, because you only have 30 minutes to do it. And then it's only a timed demo. So, Retro Zach, what did you think?
Well, first of all, the first demo that they gave us was in the actual village itself, or the outside of the castle. And I must tell you, it was a good experience. For someone who has not really gotten into the Resident Evil genre, and I'll speak for those who are thinking about getting into it for the first time, I will tell you, it was very interesting. I liked the maneuvers. I liked how we were looking around. And there are some things you have to get used to. For me, it was getting used to how to use the gun, the weapons, how to block, move, and also how to protect myself against the creatures. Besides that, it felt like almost like a part mystery game where you're trying to figure out puzzles, trying to come up with solutions, and also, even though it has an open world atmosphere to it, it does have a linear storyline that in order for you to progress, you do have to go and do certain steps in order to get to the next level of the game.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with that because, I mean, as we know, Resident Evil 7 took up the first-person perspective, and they did that again here in Resident Evil 8. And in this demo, it is a step-by-step in order to progress. You see that old woman, and it's like, Jesus Christ. I mean, she's drawing something in the ground, and she's like, oh, you're the father. And it's like, okay, there are people that know things that are going on, and you as Ethan are just running around, but you have to go from pretty much like a building to building, area to area to find out what's going on. And you're going to find out things where, okay, you're going to need to pick a lock here, or you go up to a little altar right here. You have this goats of warding to protect the village, and all this talk about this Mother Miranda. Mother Miranda is supposed to be protecting us, but now Mother Miranda's not protecting us anymore. So you as Ethan, I mean, you're just looking around. The snow on the ground, the trees, everything looks old. Like, it looks like you just jumped back into the past. I mean, this looks like something you might find in an old Transylvanian Dracula movie.
That's very true. In fact, I almost said, well, what year are we playing in here? Is it the
Even
17,
with the clothing.
1800s? But then again, there is a truck that you're driving. There is electricity. And then, of course, there's Ethan. And what's ironic is his last name is Winters, and we're playing in the winter.
That's true. That's true. And this guy's always running after his family. I mean, unfortunately, the guy just can't hold on to his family. And but I do like, you know, a couple of years ago, I remember when Outlast came out with the PS4, and it sort of reminded me of that, except you weren't running for your life all the time because you're just trying to figure out what's going on. I mean, there's this one section you walk in and you see this altar to these people that you've seen in the trailers. The tall woman with the hat, and that gentleman with the hat and the long hair, and now there's somebody in the middle that possibly could be Mother Miranda. And you just notice that there's this history, this mythology that's in this village. And I mean, you're in this one area where it looks like a converted church with an altar. And you go from place to place and you see different houses. Of course, just like any other Resident Evil game, you happen to find ammo lying around. You happen to find a shotgun or a mine, which, you know, I wanted to see if I could get that Lycan to step on that mine, and it was a pretty explosive conclusion.
When you watch the demo, you'll see if Gamer John was successful or not.
But I actually like the atmosphere. I mean, and this is just the outside, so we haven't gotten into the meat and potatoes of the castle yet, but just my personal impressions. Graphically, I love the setting. I love the designs. It did run a little choppy. I mean, we were playing it in the HDR mode. The character designs I thought looked great. I thought the voice acting was excellent. The old woman I thought was excellent. I thought the people that you encounter in the houses I thought did very well. I think the controls felt pretty good. Couple little things though, when you did get the monsters, I didn't like, for me personally, I liked in other Resident Evil games, like I loved in the Resident Evil 2, the remake that they did, where when a zombie sees you, they run after you, they're stalking you, you have to do something. Here you actually have the way to barricade yourself in. There wasn't a purpose for it here yet, though. At least not one that I was able to encounter. Plus, you're trying to get it done within 30 minutes. But at one point, I had to kind of goad the monsters or the Lycans to actually try to come after me. Like, I put down a mine. I had to get very close to them in order for them to even start attacking me.
I'd also say, too, in regards to the monsters, right now, again, they did say this was a demo and things were being worked out. It took a long time to try and kill the creatures. You have a shotgun with a couple of shots and you go to a handgun, and if all you had left was the knife, you really have to coordinate of trying to block and push the creature away multiple times for it to get killed.
I mean, it might just be like they are setting you up like in other Resident Evil games where, as in survival horror, you got to keep your resources stocked and you have to be sparing, so it's really strategies. It's not just just letting out all your lead. You gotta, shoot for the leg or shoot for the head or try to avoid as much as possible.
I will say that the trailer for the game, which you will see after the demo, the trailer actually has a lot of this demo in it. You're going to see some of the village people. You're going to see, people talking, people's words. Even a lot of the scenes in the trailer are from this first demo.
Yeah.
Now, you may see that also with the second and third demo because they're going to be doing April 24th. Where you're actually in the castle for 30 minutes, and then I believe it's May 4th, but after that, you get a full hour's worth of play in both the castle and the village.
See, there's the section right here where that Lycan or where that monster shows up, and I was hoping that he would actually try to attack the house. There was a couple times here where I'm zooming outside, just kind of saying, maybe just come and, force me to try to run away, force me to try to react. In this case, though, I just had to act and move forward. And I'll tell you, going through some of this brush, I was trying to see if the knife could be almost like a machete, because this brush really does take some of the visual, it just makes everything, almost claustrophobic when you're going through here. But in order to get the monsters to react, or these Lycans, if that's what they are in this case, you actually have to goad them into coming after you. So I kind of wait at one point. Love the scarecrow. I like that very eerie looking scarecrow, the snow falling.
Yeah, he looks like he's the scarecrow from Jeepers Creepers, if anyone remembers that
yeah.
movie. Also, I'll say this. You only have 30 minutes, so technically you could look around a little bit, but if you want to get into all the cutscenes and make sure you actually finish the demo, because there is actually a finish. You could have 30 minutes to play, but you can actually finish the game before the 30 minutes runs out. So take your time, especially if you're only one user. Do your best you can to get through all the cutscenes and everything so you can see it. Because unless you have multiple people that have different users on your PlayStation, you only going to be able to play it once. They do remember you, and they're not going to let you play again unless you have, say, a couple of minutes left over on your current demo time.
Exactly. And let's see. Like in this one section, I'm waiting for the creature to come and attack me, and eventually I say, well, I just got to go in there and get him. We just had to go in there and see what would happen. And, you got to suspend, as with these games, you do have to suspend your disbelief, because if this thing were to come at you, you'd most likely be killed. I mean, that's the reality. Like, there's the guard where you are able to put your hands up, and that sort of blocks them, and then you have the ability to push them back. So I would think that if this was a real creature, you would have been slaughtered within seconds. It would have stalked you, and that would have been the end of the game, but then there'd be no game. But I do like the atmosphere that they did here. Gun-wise, I mean, you're trying to figure out, like, they have these bags of flour around that it didn't seem like it really did much for me, because they were always out of the position of the flour, and I had to try to, again, get them to come after me. So I guess when the game comes out, we'll find out more if you could use that to really shield you or to kind of confuse them in some way.
Yeah, and I would say my take on the game is, again, for somebody who maybe has never gotten into the Resident Evil genre, and you don't know anything about Ethan Winters, you could start to play this game, but you may want to play Resident Evil 7 first, and they are coming out with a combo with both games, so you can have both of them available to play, which I probably would recommend.
Yeah, in the deluxe, it's unfortunately it's only a digital version that has both games, but I agree.
Right,
I would recommend that.
Close the door.
It does have that nice horror way about it, where you hear something coming, and the next thing you know, it pops out of nowhere. I mean, right now, I would say the AI for the creatures could be a little off, and yes, there we go. The mind does seem to work. But
Ethan's just fine, though. Ethan is just fine.
Pour a little bit of the ointment over your hand, and you're fine.
You got that herb ointment, put it on, you're fine.
But yes, I think the AI of the creatures, at least in the demo, are okay. They're just kind of running around.
I mean,
and maybe they come at you, but they're not, like you said, if it was a real hunting creature, you probably would either have killed it already or it would have killed you.
I mean, this is a little blast from the past. I mean, in the Order 1886, it's definitely not a QTE, and it's definitely not them just coming and attacking you and running away, although I do have some fond, great memories of that game. But here comes a second Lycan where they're coming at you, they're stopping, they have a weapon, they're coming after you. I mean, it looks like he's got like some type of like thing behind him, like some type of like a giant club or a mace. And I would expect him to just run through the trees, maybe try to kind of, outflank you, but no, he just boop, hits you, you push away the enemy, you kick him, you're fine, and then right in the head, boom. Didn't have to hit him in the chones.
Another thing I noticed is that when the creature does attack you and have you on the ground, he's biting, but I'm not really sure if he's actually biting your neck, biting your hand.
If you're just kind of stopping him.
So it looks like you're kind of stopping. You don't actually see that on the screen, though.
No.
I guess from your perspective, again, because it is a first-person perspective.
And I do want to make note, too, that when you watch the demo, there were some scenes I did skip on purpose because I wasn't sure. Actually, we weren't sure if it counted to the 30-minute time limit, so I just wanted to skip through.
And that is true because the time frame of this game that is being posted is 24 minutes long. So yes, if you do cut the cutscenes short, you will have saved time, so to speak. But again, we had already played it once before, then we replayed it again, so that's why we had it. We were skipping the scenes to make sure we could get to the end. But on all in all, I would definitely recommend someone playing the demo. Download it. It's quick. Give it a chance. And, I'm looking forward to the next demo.
You only have that time limit, unfortunately. Like even during the day that you can play it.
Right. Yeah, it actually started at 8 o'clock Eastern time, and it was done by 3 o'clock in the morning Pacific time.
Yeah, we'll double check.
The next day.
I mean, I have to double check when the next one's dropping because this was the Village.
I believe it's April 24th.
Is it April 24th for the castle?
Yes. And I believe it's May 4th to the 5th. I could be wrong. But I know it's like at least another 2 weeks away for the 60 minutes where you can do both the castle and the village.
Right. Yes, where they can do both of them, and it looks like they're giving you 60 minutes total. And even here, like there's this section where you find the father and the daughter, and you get them to Louisa's house. And I don't want to say it's a plot hole, but I mean, these Lycan things, these monsters, you would think they'd be able to go the same direction that Ethan just went. Why didn't they just jump over and, where he is and just come within the gates? Like right here, like you shut the gate. I think the daughter right here, I think they did a good design with her. Good actress, good actor. The father, he takes a stumble here. And
yeah, voice acting was
I actually
very
thought the
good
voice
so
acting
far.
for everybody was very good. In fact, this is a very good scene. The snow falling, the design here, everything is all run down. I want to know so much more of the history of this place because I feel like I just walked into, like, I mean, even though there's some technology around, I feel like I walked into like the 17 or 1800s.
Yeah,
it just looks like that.
It is MA, so do know there's a lot of violence in language. So if you have your young one playing the game, just let him know what's going on so he's aware of it.
And I will say, too, I mean, for anybody that's played again, if you played Resident Evil 7, you know, you might have like a different experience because you've already dealt with that first person. But anybody where we know in the trailers that you have because there's previous characters that are showing up from the other Resident Evil universe. They'll be showing up here. But right now, you just feel like this demo, you're in the past. I mean, even this lady right here that walks out here, I mean, she looks like something that walked out of like a...
Little House on the Prairie.
Yeah, a Little House on the Prairie. And then here's this gentleman with his gun, and he's going to go off and search the grounds, which with everything going on, that's another thing too. Definitely, they are showing a very strong presence of women in this video game. And you have the woman in white with her horde. This woman right here pretty much telling this man, get out of my sight and go search the grounds. And then as we get in deeper, we see the man, he's drunk. And this woman is saying, look, we've got to hold the faith for this Mother Miranda that we're going to find out. So there is a matriarchy of sorts in this village. And I'm very interested to see how they're going to have this play out, because what is the mythology? How does Ethan's daughter play into this? Because the one thing that old woman who seems to be like that wise, she could be either the wise old sage or that wicked witch or that crazy oracle. But the one thing she said, that when Rose, his daughter, showed up, calamity started in this village. So I think it actually gives a very good premise. Graphically, it's great. Performance, I hope they, you know, increase it a bit more. And I'm very interested to play this game.
Yeah, and like I said, when I was asking what time frame I'm in, you know, what's the time
like
period?
look at the furniture here,
yeah,
for example.
That's how well they did the game. The lighting is very good. The homes are drawn very nice. The people definitely play the part, and it definitely has that zombie feel.
And I'm gonna also say too, with some of the you know, however this is cut through, there's that section with the father and the daughter, and you see that the daughter pounces, like she's like, back off, and then she just realizes, oh my God, what did I just do? I just shot my father. And Ethan had to say, wait a second, this is not your father, he's gone. But I mean, there are definitely these, you know, she had a very powerful moment there, and I mean, we're going to see eventually what happens. It would have been nice, in my opinion, to actually see more of her. I really liked what they were showing with the character, but then again, it looks like this is Ethan's story, and we'll have to see where he goes eventually when he gets into the castle.
Yeah, so we recommend, hey, watch the demo, play the demo, and let us know your thoughts and comments in our video. And tell us what you think as well. Is it something you're going to get? You're going to wait for it? Or are you going to get it on day one?
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much, and we hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed it, please give a thumbs up and subscribe, because we'll have different videos as time goes on. Sometimes it'll just be playthroughs, sometimes older games from previous generations, or sometimes we'll just go and discuss what's going on in the industry or what upcoming games are coming up.
Absolutely. And I would say, Gamer John, what do you think the gamer proverb of this game would be?
Well, you know what? Let's see. The word of wisdom in gamer proverbs, I would say, keep your friends close, but your family closer.
Exactly, especially if it's your daughter Rose.
Especially if your daughter Rose, because I mean, it seems like Ethan's just running all over his family trying to find them, and people just keep taking them away. And also, as you saw here, keep your father away from those monsters, because you never know what he'll turn into.
Exactly. Well, this is Retro Zach
and Gamer John. Much blessings, and hope you enjoy Resident Evil 8 in the future.